Hello, this is Goat. From now on, I plan to upload a video reviewing last week's ATP and WTA Tour tournaments at this time, every week if possible. I'll be covering notable events from last week's tournaments, players to watch, and players whose recent performances have been disappointing. So let's start the review of the last 5 tournaments now. Luciano Darderi claimed his second title of the season at the Bastad 250. This Italian player continues his romance with clay courts. Remarkably, all 3 of his career titles have come on clay. Following his victory in Morocco at the beginning of this season, his victory in this tournament shows that he's solidifying his domain on clay. Francisco Cerundolo's semi-final exit was an unexpected result. Many expected the Argentine player to claim the title based on his clay court prowess. However, his continued struggles seemed to persist even on his preferred surface, following early exits at Roland Garros and Wimbledon. Jesper de Jong was the biggest surprise of this tournament. He reached the final by defeating Talon Griekspoor, who was in good form, and South American clay specialist Hugo Garrido. We need to watch whether this represents a genuine step up or if it was just special conditioning for this tournament only. Meanwhile, former clay court powerhouse Sebastian Baez continues his puzzling decline. The Argentine player, who was once a regular threat at clay 250 tournaments, was eliminated in the quarterfinals and has recorded only 2 wins since the clay season began. Tournament prediction record: 17-10, 62.96%. Alexander Bublik claimed the title with a definitively leveled-up performance. Despite a disappointing Wimbledon first-round exit, the Kazakhstani player bounced back brilliantly. He seems to be entering a new golden age by letting everything go and starting to enjoy the game itself. This tournament will be remembered as one where underdog players shone. Cerundolo reaching the final after beating big-name Ruud, Cazaux defeating clay contender Etcheverry, who was on the rise again after Wimbledon, and the progress of Booz, who had been consistently performing well on clay. It was a tournament dominated by players who hadn't received much attention. This week's 2 clay tournaments mark the end of this year's clay season. Can Bublik continue this momentum? Will the final tournaments produce another star? We're looking forward to finding out. Tournament prediction record: 18-9, 66.67%. The last ATP tournament was held in Mexico, and honestly, it was a difficult week to predict. With a tournament record of 12-15, 44.44%, this tournament reminded us why tennis is so unpredictable. Denis Shapovalov won after a long time. He was one of the next generation players who are now being forgotten, and it will be interesting to see how much presence he can show in the remaining hard-court season of 2025, using this victory as a stepping stone. Pre-tournament favorite Alejandro Davidovich Fokina was shockingly eliminated in the first round by James Duckworth, and Andrei Rublev lost to Alexander Kovacevic in the semifinals. Many other matches I didn't mention produced results different from my expectations, which inevitably caused my accuracy rate to drop significantly, making it a very disappointing tournament for me. Loïs Boisson proved her presence once again following her Roland Garros semi-final appearance and won her first WTA title. I think I need to reflect Boisson's good form and gameplay in future match predictions based on these successes. Bondar is powerful at moderate levels, but there's definitely a gap when facing players with clear level differences. That's why her victory over Alexandrova to reach the final was a fresh shock to me. It would have been a real opportunity for her to level up if she had continued this momentum to claim the title, which is regrettable. Other than that, the matches generally flowed as expected, and as a result, this will be remembered as the tournament where I got the most predictions right on a single tournament basis. Tournament prediction record: 24-6, 80.00%. Finally, in Romania, veteran Irina Camelia Begu showed that experience still matters by claiming an unexpected title. Her semi-final victory against Jacqueline Christian was the most surprising match result for me. Jill Teichmann achieved a good result after a long time, finishing as runner-up. Without intending to disparage the players who advanced to the upper rounds, I think they were able to record good results through a combination of overall draw luck and good gameplay as the tournament progressed with competitive matchups throughout. Tournament prediction record: 22-8, 73.33%. The WTA concluded its clay season with last week's tournaments. The ATP will wrap up its clay season with this week's 2 tournaments. Players will now turn their attention to the hard court season in earnest, starting with the Washington 500 series, where different techniques and styles will come to the forefront. Can Bublik and Darderi continue last week's upward trajectory? Will Shapovalov's title victory be the signal of his revival? And how will the existing stars respond to these new threats? That's all for this week's tennis summary. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next week with richer content from the ATP and WTA tours.